Once there was a little angel. Before going down to the mortal world, all the other angels gathered to see her off, including God. God asked, "Why do you want to go down to the mortal world, a place full with danger and hatred?" The little angel replied, her eyes shining with determination, "Simply because I want to serve." God nodded, then asked, "Do you know that when you go down there, you will very likely lose your true nature and have great difficulty coming back to heaven?" The little angel bowed her head and replied, "Yes, I know, sir." God smiled, but there was a hint of worry in his eyes. "To be able to come back here, you must have great love and compassion. However, in order to have such great love and compassion, there must be people who hurt you, people who cause you to resent. Without them, you cannot grow. Without their presence to help you grow and deepen your love and compassion, it would be very difficult for you to return to heaven. Is there anyone willing to help their friend return to heaven?" God looked around and all were silent. Then only the little angel's best friend spoke up. "I will help. I volunteer to help my friend." God looked surprised, tilted his head and asked, "Why are you doing this?" The friend replied sincerely, "Because I cherish her and I want her to return to heaven." God's tone grew serious. "Do you realize that by doing so, you will turn into someone others see as terrible? You could be hated by many, and it will also be very hard for you to come back here." The friend smiled gently and said, "Yes, I understand, but I sincerely cherish my friend, so I'm willing to do this to help her return." The angel turned to his friend and said softly, his voice trembling with worry but full of sincerity, "My dear friend, when we go to the mortal world, you will take on a new form, and so will I. We might not recognize each other. If I end up hurting you, please remember that deep down, it's because I care for you and had to do so. That's all I ask you to remember." After saying this, the two angels looked at each other, embraced tightly, and descended together to the mortal world. Their story moved God and all the other angels, and after many lifetimes, they both returned to heaven, where they truly belonged. Have you ever wondered if heaven truly exists? Is it really a faraway place? And why does returning to heaven require immense compassion and love? How can we hold on to compassion amidst the countless challenges life throws our way? Come, pause with us, and let's embark on a journey to uncover the profound meaning hidden within this story. In life's journey, every step we take brings rich experiences, joy, happiness, but also pain and suffering. We often ask ourselves, why do unpleasant events happen? Do these hardships carry deeper messages beyond the hurt they bring? If every challenge holds a lesson, what might happen when we dare to face and overcome them? In this story, heaven is not a distant land or a physical place, but symbolizes a state of peace, freedom, and true happiness within the soul. When we practice compassion, we learn to let go, letting go of grudges, pain, selfishness, and the negativity that weighs us down. When we practice love, we learn to connect and give. Instead of clinging to the faults of others, we embrace their transformation and our own. Love allows us to move past the chains of pain and rediscover the peace that was always within us. Heaven is the union of these two qualities, compassion and love. It lightens our hearts, freeing us from resentment and filling us with love. Thomas Edison, the great American inventor, experienced a challenging childhood. As a child, he was diagnosed with autism. One day, he brought home a letter from school for his mother. After reading it, she burst into tears and told him, "The school says you are a genius, and they lack the resources to teach you. So from now on, I will teach you myself." With his mother's boundless love and compassion, Edison overcame difficulties, developed his talents, and became one of the greatest inventors in history. Years later, while going through family keepsakes, he found that very letter. After reading it, he cried for hours. The letter actually said, "Mrs. Nancy, your child is mentally deficient. We cannot allow him to attend school anymore." Without Mrs. Nancy, who knows how long it would have taken the world to see the invention of the light bulb, phonograph, and more. Edison later wrote in his journal, Thomas Edison was a mentally deficient child who, thanks to a heroic mother, became the genius of the century. Edison's mother's unconditional love not only helped him overcome adversity, but also inspired millions worldwide. Her actions prove that love and compassion can change not just one life, but humanity as a whole. No one's journey through life is without challenges, pain, or trials. But what matters most is not how many obstacles we face, but how we overcome them and what we learn along the way. Adversity is not here to destroy us. It's here to help us discover our inner strength and improve ourselves. Instead of blaming or wallowing in pain, we can draw lessons from it. Like trees bending in the wind during a storm, those who adapt survive, while rigid ones may break. Trees can't avoid storms, but through them, they learn that flexibility and patience are the keys to enduring and thriving. Facing difficulties also gives us a chance to pause and reflect on ourselves. Challenges act as mirrors, revealing weaknesses we need to address and values we should cherish. Who are the bad guys in our lives, teaching us invaluable lessons? They could be loved ones, friends, spouses, children, or even strangers. They don't appear to destroy us, but to set the stage for our soul's growth. Just as a blacksmith needs intense heat to forge steel, without being tempered by fire, the steel cannot be shaped into valuable and functional products. Adversity tempers our souls. It helps us uncover our inner strength and opens opportunities to reinvent ourselves into better versions of who we are. According to Buddhism, life is not merely a journey between birth and death, but an endless cycle of samsara. Every action we take, every thought we think, and every word we speak lays the foundation for the path we will tread in the future. To escape samsara, a cycle of suffering and separation, we need wisdom, compassion, and immense love to dissolve karmic debts and build merit. Each of us carries karmic destiny, a thread connecting past actions, words, and thoughts to our present and future experiences. Those who hurt us or bring unpleasant situations into our lives don't appear randomly. They are tied to unresolved karma from the past. Karma is like an arrow. Negative actions from the past will circle back to hurt us, while positive actions bring happiness and peace. Challenges aren't punishments. They are opportunities to recognize and correct our mistakes. Blaming others doesn't resolve past karma. It only creates new negative cycles. Harboring resentment sows more negativity into the karmic connection, leading to future suffering. According to the law of cause and effect, over time, when the right conditions arise, an unfavorable seed will inevitably produce an unfavorable result. By practicing compassion, we proactively stop this cycle. By practicing compassion, we plant a new positive seed for that karmic connection. According to the law of cause and effect, this positive seed will eventually bear a favorable result in the future. Every act of compassion is a step toward resolving past karma. Only compassion and love can break the chain of negative karma, preventing us from sowing more unfavorable seeds or creating further resentment and suffering. Compassion is not about passively enduring adversity. It's about actively transforming it into opportunities for spiritual growth. Compassion is not weakness. It's the highest expression of wisdom and empathy. It helps us break free from the ego, the attachment to oneself, to rigid notions of right and wrong, or absolute fairness, allowing us to view everything through the light of understanding. When we let go of anger, our hearts become serene, no longer swept away by negative emotions. Anger is like a fire that consumes the soul, and only by extinguishing it with compassion can our minds find true peace. Let's look at the story of Mai, a woman who lost her husband in a car accident caused by a drunk driver. At first, she was consumed by pain and anger, even harboring thoughts of revenge against the driver. But after many nights of reflection, she realized that holding on to resentment did nothing to ease her pain. It only weighed her heart down even more. When the driver came to apologize and ask for her forgiveness, she told him, "I can't change the past, but I can decide my future. If I hold on to this resentment, I'm not only hurting myself, but also keeping the rest of my family from finding peace." Hearing these words, the driver broke down in tears. Something inside him began to awaken. he realized that what mattered most now was finding a way to live a more meaningful life moving forward. The moment Mai spoke words of forgiveness, she felt as though a heavy burden had been lifted from her heart. The resentment she had held onto for so long dissolved, leaving behind a space that was gradually filled with peace. The driver also underwent a complete transformation after receiving her forgiveness and facing legal consequences for his actions. He quit drinking and became a responsible driver. As for Mai, she found a profound sense of lightness and serenity within her soul. Compassion and love are not just moral virtues, they are keys to liberation and true peace. Every challenge is a lesson, and every act of compassion opens the door to a more peaceful and joyful future. Our lives are a long chain of relationships and experiences, where every person and event leaves its mark. Yet the most extraordinary thing is that sometimes the people we love the most, or those closest to us, are the ones who bring us the greatest lessons in life. You might be surprised to realize that it's not strangers, but rather your family, friends, and colleagues. The people closest to you, who often help you grow by bringing both joy and adversity into your life. A mother, when facing the defiance of her adolescent child, not only endures emotional pain, but also requires immense patience and love to guide her child through this challenging phase. It is this love that enables the mother to practice compassion, fostering the growth not only of her child but also of herself. In marriage, conflicts that seem irreconcilable can possibly become opportunities for both partners to learn to listen, understand, and be forgiving toward each other. It is these very clashes that serve as lessons, helping the relationship grow to a deeper and more mature level. In the workplace, you may have encountered a demanding boss who imposes strict expectations, making you feel overwhelmed. However, as you patiently follow through, learn, and improve your skills, you come to realize that their strictness was not meant to harm you, but to help you grow. That boss, whether intentionally or unintentionally, became a teacher who helped you refine yourself. Every person we meet and every event we experience is a teacher on our journey of growth. Sometimes the people we hold dearest become mirrors reflecting our weaknesses and the lessons we need to overcome. We all understand that compassion and love are the foundations for building a peaceful and happy life. But how can we truly practice these qualities in real life amidst the chaos of pressures and wounds? This is not an easy question to answer, yet every small step we take can lead to profound and meaningful change. People are inherently different. Each individual holds their own set of values, unique experiences, and personal wounds. Embracing the truth that no one is perfect and no one is bound to meet our expectations is the foundational step toward cultivating compassion. For example, a strict father might often scold his child over minor mistakes, not realizing that this is his way of expressing love, because he wants his child to grow up strong and capable. Understanding the reasons behind a parent's behavior can make it easier for us to empathize with and accept them. Holding on to resentment doesn't make us any happier. It only burdens and exhausts our minds. Letting go is not about forgiving others for their sake. It is about freeing ourselves. Focus on the present instead of dwelling on the past. Whenever you feel angry or hurt, try writing down your emotions. When you revisit them later, you may find that the situation feels less overwhelming than it initially did. You can also practice meditation to calm your mind. Letting go does not mean condoning or agreeing with someone else's mistakes. It simply means refusing to let negative emotions control your life. Every act of compassion and love, no matter how small, is a step that brings us closer to heaven, a state of inner peace, freedom, and true happiness. It not only lightens our hearts, but also helps us live a meaningful and fulfilling life. Begin today. Compassion is not something beyond reach. It simply requires a little acceptance, a little respect, and a little understanding. Every transformation is rooted in love, love for oneself and love for others. We are truly grateful for your time spent watching this video. Feel free to share your thoughts about the content in the comments section below. Don't forget to like this video and subscribe to our channel to support us and stay updated with our future posts.